morning, everybody. My name's Dale Howard, and this is the first of what's going to be a long series of sessions, mostly aimed at people in small business, but it's really kind of life in general. Life and business aren't really that different when you come down to it. But, the stuff about marketing, is that really life in general, or is it how to get along with other people? They are kind of related. So I'm not going to bore you with a bunch of background on me. You'll figure out all you need to know as time goes along. So let's get started. And a great way to get started, I think, is on how to get started. Because lots of people have trouble getting started on whatever, you name it. And let's start with how I had trouble getting started. I've actually been thinking about doing this for quite some time. And I'm no different from anybody else. I had my successes, and I'm very pleased to say I've had a good number of successes, and I'm just happy about that, okay? And obviously I got started someplace, but don't think that it was always easy. I'm just like everybody else. And there are several reasons we don't get started. And one of them is sometimes you're just plain lazy. If you're just plain lazy, I can't really speak to that today. I'm sure that there's great, big, long talk that could be done on it, but you're not going to get it here. But let's talk about more practical things that you can do something about. If you're in poor health, let's start there. If you have bad diet, you feel lousy, you name it. You're just physically not so good, you're going to have a hard time getting started. And if what you're getting started on is getting healthier, you look around you, that's a pretty big trick out there. But I'm not addressing that right this minute. I'm just saying that is one of the things. And getting started on what, by the way, could be anything. I'm thinking about projects in business usually. But it can be absolutely anything. But the most people don't get started. I'm having a hard time here, but I'm not going to do a retake. You don't know what to do. If you don't know what you want, that's a real base reason for not knowing what to do. There's another reason people don't know what to do, and that's just because they're not qualified. You may not be you may have an idea in mind, but you're not really qualified to go after it. You can be just not enough information, and you know that, or you might be inept and you don't know it, whichever the case. But that's one of the reasons people can't go forward. Maybe you hate everything about what you're planning to do. You're planning to do this thing, and it involves making all these phone calls, and you hate to sit on the telephone. Well, welcome to the club. I don't like it either. But if you really, 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 really hate it, at the end of the story, you're not going to do it. So be a little realistic in what you choose to do. Don't decide to do things that you're going to hate. Find a way around them, whatever. A lot of times people don't see the big picture, and little forward word for you. The next 2 or 3 sessions are going to be on this, but the big picture is just too big. You see something and you want that, and it's just absolutely overwhelming, and you can't go forward because you ever heard how to eat an elephant? You eat him one bite at a time. So there's the secret for you. If you never hear anything else, you can remember that. Eat your elephants one bite at a time. But we'll move on from that right now. And the other big thing is people are afraid. You can be afraid of failure, and that's pretty common. And you might be afraid of a poor result. A result, at least, that's not up to your standards. Okay, now I had a long time ago when I was in business, and I didn't have any employees, but I had a friend who helped me from time to time in my business, and this guy's name was Jim, and Jim says, and I said, Jim, I don't want to get employees because the quality of my work will suffer. Jim said, and I was appalled by this at the time. I was actually offended by this, but it's just true. He says, well, the quality of the work doesn't have to be up to your standards. It has to be up to your customer's standards. That's an important distinction, and there's truth in it. If you hear that and you're offended by it, I think that that's a good thing, because it should, you should feel the initial loss of that at least. But it's true. Work has to be up to your customer standards. So I don't know what kind of result. I was worried about how these videos are going to turn out. Is everybody going to give me a thumbs down? I hope not. Please give me thumbs ups. But I don't want rejection any more than the next guy. But here's the thing. You're your own harshest judge. Nobody else is judging you the same way you judge yourself. And here's the other thing. You can improve and you can fix things later. If you just get started today, at least you're started. I have a friend in another business. He was a competitor. And, we're not tight buddies or anything, but we talk at trade shows and stuff. And I respected him a great deal. Actually, he's the guy from whom I first heard heard goal setting, and that is what the following sessions will be about. But this guy said to me one time, it was I don't know if it was a backhanded compliment or what it was. It was just true. But anyway, the guy says to me, what I like by you is you can get started on things. You don't have to have them 100%. You don't mind coming out of the gate at 80% or something like that. Anyway, I was like, man, what are you saying to me? But it was true. I am that guy. I don't have to have everything perfected, but I like to have perfected. What can you say? Let's see. You analyze things too much. That's another place. You can stall as you think it through and think it through and think it through. And I'm that guy too. My brother's like that as well. And my mother once said, "You two guys spend more damn time getting ready than anybody I know." And that was true of us. My brother still likes to get ready too. I'm the guy that hates gardening in the summer, and I don't get out there to reap the vegetables much. Mostly what I like to do is get out there in February when the weather's nasty and work the ground, okay? And I don't mind pulling weeds because I like to fix things, but I'm not much of a shopkeeper. So getting ready, too much getting ready will keep you away from payday. Just know that. Another thing is, and this is important, this is big, deep down inside, the risk and reward ratio is wrong. Now, if you don't really understand risk-reward ratio, I need to urge you to really dig into that. But it's like playing Russian roulette. Okay, if you stick a gun to your head, there's only a 16% chance you're going to blow your brains out, right? Only 16%. The risk-reward ratio is wrong. I mean, it's the loss is so big that you can't afford a 1 in 6 chance. All right, and I don't care if they offer you, $1 million. Don't take that chance because the loss is too big. Anyway, if the risk-reward is wrong, you will be pulling back from it, and you're being wise. Just drop the whole idea. Don't do it, or figure out something else. Last item on this list would be that a lot of us are just compulsive and easily distracted. Like, you plan to do this, except for you look over there and, I'll do that instead. And you can fritter away forever as you don't get the thing that you're planning to do done. And it has a whole bunch of those other background things keeping you from doing it, but your compulsion and distraction gets the job done for you. Don't fall for the trap. You're just going to have to intellectually overcome. So let's review here, because we're really running out of time, which is, this thing is kind of more intellectual than, well, it is. It's intellectually overcoming your emotional roadblocks. All right, so you're just going to have to think through and bully through if you're having a hard time. And know yourself. Okay, if you hate so-and-so, absolutely hate it, don't do it. If you're just kind of uncomfortable with it and it's, it's a bump in the road to where you're going, then suck it up and get with the program. Just do what you have to do. But if you hate it, don't sign up. All right? And the third thing, reviewing here, just do something. Do anything and improve it and fix it later. All right? Now, next time it's going to be about eating that elephant one piece at a time. And this was probably the single biggest thing in my whatever success I've had. Without this, I wouldn't have had any of it. Okay? So I'm going to cover that next time. In the meantime, thanks for sticking with me for over 10 minutes. Take care. Hey friends, I hope this was useful to you. Would you do something for me? Would you please share this with anybody you know that ought to hear it too? And then, would you please give me the thumbs up and subscribe, right? That's kind of important on these things. Feel free to leave comments. All right, thanks a lot. And now get out there and do some winning.